thanks a lot, Sharon. Good to see you again. We're all set for another year.
Yeah, well, actually, I had a couple questions. What's going on with the City of Chico's wood burning restriction ordinance right now?
This past summer, the Chico City Council passed a wood burning restriction ordinance that's going to take effect actually November 1st, that anyone that is burning a non-EPA rated wood stove or insert or an open fireplace will not be able to burn wood on poor air quality days that are designated and forecast by the Butte County Air Quality Board. Now, there's a lot of things that are unknown about this restriction at this time. They're not sure who's going to enforce it, how it's going to be enforced, what the boundaries are as far as the area that's going to have to comply with these restrictions. I've heard that there is possibly warnings for first offenders and then potentially fines down the road after that. Maybe you get caught twice doing it on burning a non-EPA rated stove on a poor air quality day. Mm-hmm. And there's also exemptions available for people whose only source of heat is wood, or for people, the low-income folks, mm-hmm. or if there's any other burden that this restriction may impose upon you, you may be eligible for an exemption on it as well.
Okay. Well, other than worrying about Chico's wood burning restrictions, what are the other benefits of having an EPA-rated stove?
Well, an EPA-rated stove can burn up to 80% less wood than an old stove, for one thing. Okay. But pretty much the standard is about 30% less wood you will burn in an EPA-rated stove, but it's up to 80% of the average of a non-EPA-rated stove. The big benefit is you get twice as much heat, about 50% more heat. You're burning less wood, and then it takes less to maintain and a lot easier to use, because if you look at our website, thestoveandchimneyman.com, on page 13 of the Libby, Montana change-out program, there was a guy in there named Brett Price who was very, very skeptic about changing out his old stove because he'd had it for years. Mm-hmm. And finally he went ahead and made the move, and then found out that he was burning about 30% less wood, getting twice as much heat, and claimed that he only had to load the stove with good hard wood about every 8 hours.
Wow.
So to sum it up, you get more heat, you use less wood, and it's less maintenance, or in other words, and plus it helps with the air pollution problem. Mm-hmm. So you're not polluting the air nearly as much. And to really sum it up, it's easier, cheaper, and you get more heat.
Okay, well, does it help with indoor air quality at all, the stove?
That's a good question. On page 15 of the same Libby Changeout article, they found that if it's properly installed, an EPA wood stove or an insert can increase the air quality inside the home by up to 72%.
Oh, wow.
In fact, last year we had a customer that called, and she had been having respiratory problems, and she was sure that it was from wood smoke being in her house. And she said she could smell it at times, but she wasn't sure if that was it. And I went over and did an evaluation of the chimney and how it was installed, and to say the least, it was done completely about everything you could do was wrong on it. So we replaced the entire venting system on her wood stove, and she called back and thanked us and said that she has no more respiratory problems. She can't smell smoke in the house, and it solved the problem.
Wow.
But I can't emphasize enough, it has to be installed correctly and professionally.
Uh-huh. Now, how do I know if I have an EPA-rated stove at my home right now?
Generally, there will be a sticker on the back of the stove, okay. And any stoves that were manufactured after the EPA Phase 2 requirements that was set back in 1991 had to meet the EPA requirements. So there should be a sticker on there that said where it was tested, when it was tested, the year it was tested. Or if you can't find the sticker, sometimes they're hard to see and sometimes they're hard to get to. If you look inside the stove, at the ceiling of the stove, there will be the secondary combustion air tubes. And that is what the stove does to make it so much more efficient. It redirects the smoke and gases back into the flame, so you're constantly reburning those. So you get a lot more thorough combustion of the wood, which adds to more heat and less smoke, less pollution.
Wow. Well,
And if you can't, if there is not, and the heat tubes inside, it's possible that the stove is equipped with a catalytic, and sometimes if you have the manual, it'll talk about a catalytic in there. But probably in this area, 90% of the EPA rated stoves have the secondary air combustion tubes.
Okay. Well, wow. After discussing this with you, I'm definitely interested in one. Where do we go from here?
Well, the thing to do is call back and make an appointment, and we'll come over and do a thorough evaluation and consultation, estimate, and find out what's the best stove suited for your needs, and then give you a price on what it's going to cost, and we'll come over, install it professionally, and we'll haul off your old stove and take it to the scrap metal yard, and hopefully they'll make a new EPA rated stove out of it.
Great. Well, sounds good.
So yeah, and if I don't know if you checked out our website, but I mentioned it early, thestoveandchimneyman.com,
Yep.
and it has information that talks about all of this that's going down right now in Chico, what the ordinance is going on. So there's a lot of good information if you want further information, and also on the stoves we sell.
Thank you, Mike. Great.
Thank
well,
you.
nice doing business with
All
you,
right.
and I'll get back to you soon.
All right, thank you, Sharon.
Thank you.